van wraps, car wraps, truck wraps. Depending on the type of vehicle you have, the name changes, but it's the same thing. It's the graphics that wraps around your vehicle that helps advertise and promote your dog training business. Does it make sense to do it? How much should you spend? What kind of return on investment can you expect? I'm going to share with you my experiences in this video. Stick with me. As many of you know, I've owned 3 different dog training businesses in 3 different cities over the years. The first dog training business in the early 90s in Los Angeles, I had a Toyota T100 truck with a camper shell on the back. This was actually before car wraps became prominent. We didn't even know what a car wrap was. So we used vinyl letters. We put vinyl letters on the back of the truck and then also magnetic signage on both sides of the truck. And to be honest, it didn't really work that well. I got maybe 1 or 2 clients per year. Later in Las Vegas, we opened up a dog training company called Adams Las Vegas Dog Training Company. I can't remember at this point. But I had a minivan, and I did the full wrap for the minivan. I think it cost $3,000 to $4,000. And it got a lot of attention. But to be honest, we were living in a gated community, and the car just wasn't parked outside on the street enough where it was getting enough attention. So as you could see from this picture, it got attention when we parked it outside. This was in a casino parking lot, and we just happened to be coming out, and there was somebody with a little dog, and apparently the dog was so stupid it couldn't tell that the graphic image of the dogs on my van was not actually a real dog. But anyways, it got attention, it got some eyeballs, but I just never got that many leads. When we opened up our dog training business in Reno, Nevada, I had a black Toyota Land Cruiser, and instead of doing the full car wrap, we just had lettering done. You could see a picture, you could see in the picture here kind of what I did, and then we had some lettering on the back. Worked really well. Just parking it at the edge of our driveway generated about $1,000 a month in clients. We were charging about $1,000 per client. So we were picking up about 1 client a month just parking the car. And I get attention from people. I'd be at a stoplight and people would roll down the window and ask me if I had a business card. So really for $700, it had just like an infinite return on investment. So that's actually what I recommend that you do. But there's a right way to do it and a wrong way. And in this video, I'm gonna show you some examples of really well done car wraps or lettering and really poorly done car wraps and lettering. And I think it's gonna surprise you, because if you go down to your local car wrap place, they're gonna try and sell you on the most fancy car wrap that you can buy. And that's really not what you wanna do. So stick with me here. I'm going to show you some examples and kind of prove my point why simple is better. This is actually a friend of mine who had his truck wrapped for his local business. It's not a pet industry business, but I wanted to include it here because, as you can see, it's so complicated. The truck wrap is so complex that you can't even make out what it is that he's selling. Now, it's actually the truck is owned by his gun shop. Right, it's gun store, and they also deliver safes. But there's no way that if this truck was going through an intersection and you only saw it for a second, you'd have no idea what he's selling or what the name of the company is, because it's way too complicated. So let's contrast that with this Sit Mean Sit dog training van. Sit Mean Sit is a national dog training franchise, and everyone's a little bit different, but this one in particular is really well done. It passes our 1-second test. The 1-second test, again, is if the truck is driving, the van is driving through an intersection, and I only see it for a second or two, am I going to understand what it is they have to sell and who they are? So this one, it says Sit Mean Sit, the name of the company, dog training. Okay, I understand that. And it's got the phone number and the website, phone number above, website below, which is absolutely fine. But really, if I happen to be, thinking about hiring a dog trainer, if I'm sitting in traffic and right before I left the house, my wife's complaining about the dog because he chewed up the rug or messed in the house or something, and I'm on my way to work and I see this drive by, what am I going to think? I'm going to think, okay, Sit Mean Sit, dog training. I'm going to remember this because when I see it, I know who they are and I know what they do. The other thing I'd like to point out is that, and I'm guessing here, but this was most likely a white van, which means that they didn't have to pay for an entire van wrap. They could just pay for a partial van wrap because they didn't need to cover up the pre-existing color. So you might want to keep that in mind. If you're purchasing a vehicle, you should probably go with either white or black. My recommendation would actually be white because it's easier to keep clean. This one, not quite as good. If I see this going through an intersection and I've only got 1 or 2 seconds to see it, there's not enough contrast for me to figure out who they are and what they do. This one looks flashy, probably attracts a lot of attention when it's parked, but it fails because there's no way when this Hummer is moving that I'm going to be able to take a snapshot picture of it, see it fly by me in 1 to 2 seconds, know who they are and what they do. So I'll give it a fail. This one is really good, almost perfect, because it's easy to read, dog daycare and training. So I know exactly what they do. The problem is I can't tell who they are. This drives by me in 1 to 2 seconds. Unless I see it parked somewhere else and I've seen it once before and then I see it, it doesn't work because, again, I don't know who they are. I know what they do, but I don't know who they are. The other thing is that this van, like mine from Las Vegas, required the full van wrap. If this guy had known what I know now, what you know now, he probably could have gotten away with just lettering and done right. There's enough space on the side of this van that he could have had the same effectiveness, done it right by highlighting the company name, and it would have worked really well. But all in all, I like the boldness of the color scheme and the lettering. It just, I don't know who they are. This one is really well done. Positive Pets Dog Training. If I see this drive by me, I know exactly who they are and I know exactly what they do. Even if I don't see their contact information, it's done well enough and it makes enough of an impression that as soon as I get home, I'm going to put that into Google and I'm going to figure out how to get in touch with these guys. So this one, this is really about as good as it gets. Maybe you can improve it a little bit by making the URL for the website a little bit more prominent, or the phone number, a glamour number, and making that bigger. But all in all, really well done. This one, not so much. I see a dog driving by, but the lettering to tell me who they are and what they're doing is not big enough. I can't make out what it is. So kind of a waste of space using so much space for the image of the dog rather than telling me what I need to know. So I wanted to include this one because I wanted to show that you really don't need a huge monster van to get your point across. The problem that they've made with this is, number one, it's way too busy. Number two, they've done a good job with the company name and the color scheme. I think it looks great, but the Pet Club, I don't know what it is. So how I would make this much better is I would say the Pet Club and then dog daycare underneath it in equally big lettering. And then if you have room, put the phone number and the website URL. But as it is, again, if this drives past me real quick, I'm going to see the company name, the Pet Club, but this company's name doesn't tell me what that is. So they've done a really good job with this one of telling me what they do, but they've done a terrible job of telling me who they are. This drives by me at 60 miles per hour or even at 35 miles per hour. I have no idea who they are. Also, it's so busy, it looks like a Smurf just vomited all over their vehicle. So keep it simple. Tell me who you are and what you do. This one is excellent. It tells me their name, tells me how to get in touch with them. The name says it all, Poop 911. I mean, it's self-explanatory. And this is a really good example of a very small car with very large graphics. Again, it looks like they haven't done the full car wrap, so they saved a lot of money by not having to do that, going with a white car. And again, this drives by me, and I see it for 1 or 2 seconds. I immediately know who they are and what they do. This one probably works fairly well for the business owner. The problem is that there's simply not enough contrast. So what I would have done is I would have, instead of going yellow, which is already kind of a light color, on top of white, I would have just done black on top of white. And I think it would have worked a lot better. This one's a big fail. I'm assuming it's probably a groomer. But the company name just isn't big enough. He's got a huge amount of space. It's been wasted with a bunch of fancy cutesy graphics and stuff. Guys, you got to just get to the point. You got to tell me who you are and what you do really quickly. The phone number doesn't use a glamour number. What would have worked better here is 732 groomer. If that is in fact what they do, I'm not even sure, to be honest. It's just really a big waste of money. In contrast, here's one that works really, really well. Zoom and Groom, mobile dog grooming. That drives by you and you only have a second or two to see it. Zoom and Groom. I got it. When I get home or I get to the office, I'm going to plug that into my phone or into my computer. I'm going to type in Zoom and Groom, mobile dog grooming, and they got me. So excellent. Good job. This one also is pretty close to the mark. Invisible Fence. And then they've got the website URL, welovedogs.com. Super easy to remember. The phone number, 824-DOGS. Also very easy to remember. Pretty good. There's some minor things, maybe making the website and the phone number a little bit more prominent, but it works. Here's another sit means sit van. This one's a really good example of not having to spend a whole lot of money to have a van that advertises your business very effectively. Look how big and easy that is to read. Sit means sit, dog training, right? The rest of it's kind of irrelevant because you got it. As soon as you get to the office, you know what they do and you know who they are, so that when you sit down in front of Google and you try and look them up, it's super easy to remember. So very well done. Thanks for watching till the end. It really means a lot to me. Hey, if you're tired of lying in bed at night wondering, how do I get my dog training business to the next level? I found that Google AdWords is one of the best ways to get a consistent stream of new clients calling you each and every day and really explode the growth of your dog training business. The problem with Google AdWords is that it's insanely complicated, especially if you're going up against other internet marketing sharks like me and you don't really know what you're doing. So what we offer at Burning Direct is a customized 100% done for you Google AdWords management service. We take care of everything from soup to nuts. All you really need to worry about is making sure that you answer the phone, because desperate dog owners are going to be calling you looking for the types of dog training services that you have to offer. If that sounds interesting to you, visit dogtrainertoolbox.com. Click on the box in the upper left-hand corner that says Expert Google AdWords Management for Dog Trainers Only. Read through that page. At the bottom is a link to my calendar app. You can book a free 30-minute conversation with me, and we'll get on the phone and talk a little bit and find out if what we're doing with Google AdWords would be a good fit for you and your dog training business. Take care, guys.